All right, good evening and welcome to Football in Vivo on Club Deportes, show number 24. We air every Monday or sometimes Tuesday on clubdeportes.com. Be sure to follow us on our now very active Twitter account at Futbol Austin. That's Futbol Austin. Be sure to follow Club Deportes as well. That's at Club Deportes. For all the latest and greatest sports news and commentary, you'll want to make sure you visit Josh Wolf's homepage. That's clubdeportes.com. I am your host, Eric McCoy, and I am joined by a man who wistfully dreams of a day when Austin FC are actually able to defeat those mighty San Jose Earthquakes. It's Jorge Chavez. Welcome back, Jorge.
Yes, thank you. I don't know what it is. There's just a couple of teams that Austin FC is just snake bitten by them.
No matter how bad,
no matter
how many goals they've conceded, Austin FC still struggles with the San Jose Earthquakes.
Yep.
Now, as you may be able to tell, dear viewers, there is no David Alvarez. We have found a stand-in, though. David is busy spending time with his new best friend, Josh Wolf. He arrived at the press conference. He's no longer afraid of the big bad wolf. Actually asked a question.
Yeah.
I was proud of him. I was like a proud father when I heard the voice of David Alvarez appear on that press conference. Yeah. But now they hit it off. They're best friends. They're off talking football somewhere. Yeah. Don't have time for us peasants here on Football in Vivo.
He may or may not join us. We don't know yet. But
if he has time.
It depends how intense.
If he can squeeze us in his schedule.
It depends how intense that conversation is.
We may not see that.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, Jorge. We've got an unfortunate draw to discuss. As you mentioned before we started recording here, a draw that most definitely felt like a loss.
Yes.
I mean, Austin FC were so close to finally vanquishing those pesky San Jose Earthquakes, but an 88th minute Jeremy Abobasi equalizer ensured the visitors left Q2 with a 3-3 draw. Let's get your thoughts. I'm sure Jerry's going to be rolling the highlights for us here shortly. There it is right there.
A graphic, and
here we go.
And it started out differently.
Yeah, Austin FC with the early goal.
They scored first.
Yes,
that is amazing. And Cascante, I mean, he has made so much improvement, especially on the offensive side. And so,
he's become a real threat on set pieces.
He's become a real threat on set pieces. He moves very, very well in the box. Sheds his man pretty well, and just has kind of built up a knack for this being the right place at the right time.
I have to say, Jorge, when this goal went in, I thought, this is going to be an easy one. Yeah. This is going to be 4-5-0.
Last place in the conference.
Absolutely.
And then a minute later.
Yeah.
I mean, the fans are happy. Everyone's happy. So, we turned the corner.
The beers were just showering down upon everyone. It just looked like a glorious time there at Q2.
Right. And it was we need to mention that it was a new goalkeeper. I think it was his first start.
Yes, first ever MLS start
for the Quakes. And then this happened.
Stuper has to do better here, maybe? Or is it just a kind of a fluke? Or?
Total fluke. I could be argued that Stuver was kind of caught flat-footed a little bit, but it was just a weird. It was a weird bounce.
I've watched a lot of soccer. That's one of the weirdest goals I think I've ever seen. Speaking of weird, or at least unexpected.
And then this one, I mean,
wow,
that was a heck of a goal.
Sometimes you got to tip your cap. There's not a whole lot.
I mean, there's nothing Stuver could have done. It's nothing the defense could have done. You just don't expect a shot from back there to be so accurate and precise.
From the left back. That was San Jose's left back. You don't expect anyone to hit a shot like that, but especially a defensive player.
There's nothing more you could ask. I mean, everybody was standing in the right place, and it just one of those shots that went in.
So no fault of Stuver not getting that punch maybe off to the side. He did hit it kind of centrally. Usually as a goalkeeper, you're taught not to do that.
Right in he put it in the precise place that it needed to be to just be away from Stuver. He took a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. When you fire one, in that just upper 90 like that.
Yeah, it's very difficult to stop something like that. But here, I mean, this is what we like to see. Just the movement. one thing that Miguelito from SCTV noticed is that notice how Fagundes was moving. When he was moving, he initiated the play. Driussi was a little bit behind him at midfield, and like telepathically, Fagundes knew Driussi was behind him, and he drew the defender away from him, and Driussi had an easy shot. And then here's Stuver being Stuver again. You know, the one we're used to seeing where he shot blocks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can say. Stuver there and then Driussi here. We said last week these are the two most indispensable figures on Austin FC. Do you agree with that, Jorge?
Absolutely, yeah. And just the calmness. Driussi is not an emotional guy. He is always even keel. He does not get, he does not lose his cool. And because any other player, for the most part, would have shanked that because it was such an easy shot. But he didn't hit it with power. He hit it relatively easy. But then this shot, I mean, on the 88th minute.
Well, what happened here, Jorge? what happened on this goal?
They got complacent.
How is Ebobisse so free? I mean, this guy is having an outstanding season. I'll tell you what I'd like to point out. Look at the run of Cade Cowell right there that distracts Cascante. That's a good run from Cowell. That's a really good run from Cade Cowell.
He drew him away. But honestly, I think Austin, if you just got complacent. They figured they had it in the bag, It could have been a little bit that they thought, oh, these guys are in last place, and it crept into them. They interviewed Fagundes and Ferreira earlier, and they couldn't explain why they are in such mediocre form. That's not bad form. They play really well here. They just a little bit short in a lot of their games.
So for you, I'm gathering that you think Austin FC were too conservative, in particular in the second half. Because I think this is a classic game of two halves.
Right.
Because the first half was essentially a basketball game.
Yeah.
It was just
they were back and forth. Yeah.
It was just gloriously chaotic.
Yeah.
But the second half, Austin FC, I think, to my eyes, sat a bit deeper, and the possession really dropped in the second half. Austin FC only had 40% possession in the second half. Like
that is not how they play.
Yeah, especially at Q2.
Right, especially at Q2. I mean,
and you think
they've always
that
been aggressive.
Was not the correct way to approach the second half?
No, I mean, I understand why Fagundes may have been substituted and Driussi and those guys. Driussi because he had a little bit of an injury or a knock or something. So, but Fagundes, he was playing very well. He didn't look gassed, and to be substituted out at the 75th minute, it was questionable.
So do you think that? Because I think this is kind of like a two-part question. I think that you can question the tactics as being too conservative, and I think you can also look at the substitutions as being too conservative. So you also, it sounds like you think the tactics were too conservative, and you also think the substitutions were playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win.
I think that's exactly what happened. Is that there's a script, because if you look at the lineup, it's the same lineup pretty consistently they've had throughout the season. Maybe one or two players.
Yeah, I would say until we get Rigoni up to speed, that's probably the first choice 11.
The first choice 11, and it's been like that for a while. So when when Hector Jimenez was healthy, maybe he switched out with Lick Lima. So other than that, it's pretty much that's the lineup. And so, but the substitutions, I think they use the same substitutions. I mean, God bless Wolfito, but it was probably not the wisest thing to start him off along with Redes. I mean, not that Redes is a scapegoat or anything. I think that's unfair for the fan base to put him as a scapegoat every time they put him in. There is probably a loss. No, he plays his heart out. He plays really well.
He does try.
I mean, he does try. It's just that he needs that goal to give him that confidence, I think, and to maybe ease the anxiety from the fan base in some respect.
I think there's a palpable anxiety.
There's an anxiety
whenever Redes comes on.
I
think everyone wants to see him do well. They want to see him get that goal.
They want to see every player do well, but when they see him, it's just there's that confidence kind of goes down a little bit of the fan base, and I would have liked to have seen, and I mentioned this in FCTV. I don't know why they don't put Washington Corozo in.
Okay, This is exactly where I was going to go next. As far as my next question.
Yeah.
Redes. We all want Lord Redes to do well.
Yes.
Right? He tries. God bless him. He tries, Rodney Redes.
He does.
But 10 appearances this season across 143 minutes. Rodney Redes, 0 goals, 0 assists.
Right.
That is bad.
He's had shots on goal.
He has. He's
has,
had,
I think 6 shots on goal, if I'm not mistaken.
That's good for 143 minutes. It's not bad.
Of course, when you shoot straight to the goalkeeper,
that
is not as effective.
That is also a bit of a problem there.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, even though he comes on, he looks lively. Ultimately, there just isn't end product there. I would also argue he is coming on in these matches against teams typically that are tired, tired legs. Right. Second half, it's hot. It's hot everywhere in this country right now. And so any match he comes on, the opposition is going to have tired legs. Oftentimes he comes on, Austin FC are in the lead in a match, and the opposition is pushing forward, sending players forward, so there's going to be space going the other way.
Right.
So I actually think it is relatively easy for Redes to look
really good.
Lively.
Yeah, look lively.
At the very least.
Yeah.
But lively isn't good enough if you're not ultimately delivering goals and assists. Right. That's what Austin FC need when they're trying to see a match out. And to my eyes, I don't think he necessarily offers a ton defensively. I think Wolf was kind of the defensive really not his game, substitution. Yeah. And to be honest, I think Redes wants that goal so bad. It's almost like he's a one-man show a bit whenever he comes on, right? It's almost like he's so
focused.
On trying to score that goal that maybe he's taking shots when he should be recycling possession. And Austin FC can hold on to the ball.
And in his defense, he does have the speed, like you mentioned. He's usually brought in the 75th minute or so, and so he brings speed to the attack. He had a couple of fouls called on San Jose because of his play. So that's good, but I think what happens is the other side. When they put that double substitution and they put Wolf in as well,
Wolf playing on the left, which is not where he's.
That's not
typically he's a midfielder.
Yeah,
but when he does play on the wing, it's been the right wing as opposed to the left.
And that's why, again, why isn't Corozo in?
And the thing is, Corozo naturally a left winger.
Exactly.
And Wolf, maybe not naturally, but as a winger, he's naturally a right winger.
Right.
So
I know that defense, that's kind of what Wolf has said, that he's not defensively there. He said, they didn't bring him. They didn't bring him for his defense. They brought him in to score, and he's got the speed. So I could imagine what kind of speed with tired legs on the opposition, a Rodney Redes on the right, and a Washington Corozo on the left. What havoc they could bring just with their speed. That could open up tons of space for everybody else. And it's just not happening. I don't know what the delay is.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions here as it pertains to Corozo. On last week's show, I actually speculated, is he going to start? Could he potentially start? This seemed like a match where you're going up against the Earthquakes. Maybe against Austin FC, they're a good team, but overall, this is not a very good team.
Right.
Particularly defensively, not very good. So this seemed like, okay, you're playing at home against a poor defensive team. Let's get Corozo out there, let him get some confidence. Fagundes looks, I think he looks tired.
He looks tired.
Seemed to say as much in the post-match press conference as far as why he was one of those players that was subbed off in the 74th minute. But Corozo, this is a loan move. The loan is through the end of this season. If he's not ready to play, if he's not ready to contribute, I ask you, what is the point? What is the point?
Why did they bring him?
Why bring him?
I mean, I'm sure the scouting department did its job, and at the time it seemed like a good move because it wasn't going to cost Austin FC anything, just a roster spot. But if you're using a roster spot and you're not using the player, what's the point? Use him, especially because I also kind of thought that the Austin FC looked down a little bit on San Jose because they're the bottom of the league, so maybe they thought they were they didn't look as highly upon them as they should have. But if that was the case, that would have been a perfect opportunity to bring in a Corozo. I mentioned in the last, if I'm not mistaken, the last podcast that I would have liked to have seen him start a game at Kansas City.
Less pressure when you're playing in front of the away fans as opposed to the home fans. And here we go.
Yeah.
Congratulations. We've got Josh Wolf's
Yes.
best friend, Josh Wolf's new best friend.
Well,
His name is Mr. David Alvarez. He has joined us. Welcome to the show, David. Good things come to those who wait.
hey, yeah,
And dear viewers, you have a treat.
a lot of things happens, A lot of things happen, and it is a pleasure to.
So you were taking an evening stroll, it sounds like, David.
I just did. My car broke down, but I was able to leave it not far enough, so I was able to walk here and.
The
I need a new car.
dedication of this.
I need a new car. That's we need some
He is
sponsors.
willing to walk
Yes.
for football in Vivo.
Yes.
So many things. Come on, hey guys. What again? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
get your thoughts in.
Let's. I'm sure everyone is dying to know because I say you always have your best shows are on Austin FC drop points. That's when you're in your element and you can really showcase your true personality for our viewers. So, David, your thoughts on Austin FC's 3-3 draw with the San Jose Earthquakes?
My thoughts. I think I made it clear when I asked.
We were talking
Yeah,
about
we did.
that.
I'm
No longer
I'm-
afraid of the big bad wolf.
I wasn't afraid to ask the question, and the question was very simple.
It was a good question. I thought
Actually-
it was the question that I think a lot of us were thinking. So,
And
kudos to you, Doc.
And I hear you guys were talking about what the options would have been, right?
We were talking about the exact subject of your question.
So what else to say? It's like in a moment we lost the moment. I mean, it's something that we say in Futbol en Vivo in Spanish and Twitter, but we said it that at halftime.
Very good tweets, by the way, David. We picked up a lot of new followers.
Yes.
Oh, really?
A lot of likes,
We
a
did.
lot of
We did.
retweets. You were the star of the show.
No, because we say this is gonna be about the subs. It's like at halftime is what about the talk is gonna
said
be
that.
in what Wolf is gonna tell the players what to do, but then how you gonna do the substitution because you're gonna do it, right? And when you're gonna do it. And I think that's exactly what happened. We have a substitution that came. They were waiting too long to make the substitution. The guys it took about 3 minutes to get ready when they were ready. And then it was a momentum. Like the team had a momentum. We could have scored another goal because we had the momentum. But then they made the subs and the momentum dies right away.
Yeah.
And then you see the other team, San Jose, come on. Like they play like every team that give us trouble play, right?
The high pressing.
High pressing and physical, and they go for it. They go for everything.
They get in your face.
and they
don't
get in the face. Yeah, they go,
Yep.
and that's exactly what the issue was. And I think that's my opinion. The game, I think it was. I mean, Drusy is Drusy. Without Drusy, we wouldn't be where we are.
No.
So those goals were amazing, and all the way he plays, it's just in a different level, right? It's at a different level, and people ask about how that he does it in practice. I said, okay, let's not worry about that. Let's not worry about having somebody. If he's hurt, we're not gonna go anywhere in the playoff.
Oh, yeah.
Like
we
this,
will go as far as Juicy
That's-
carries us.
That's clear.
So we need to have. I mean, and we need to see the players that's going to be helping us. If we are 3-2 up, I mean, let's make it safe like this. Or let's keep it up. Let's go for another goal.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
that's the mentality that I always go for the other goal. Make sure they don't tie. Make sure you win. Just go
Yeah.
first.
Because I think we were talking, Jorge and I were talking before you got here, David. It was kind of on two different levels, a bit conservative from Austin FC. You have the substitutes, which I think you could argue were conservative. I think that is fair. But also the tactics. I mean, Austin FC just 40% possession in the second half. And I think it was a clear
That also-
tactic. You could tell right from the first opening 2-3 minutes, they're going to sit back.
Yeah.
And they were not eager to hold possession in the second half. And so do you have an issue with that as well? Not just the substitution,
San Jose has
but the tactics.
53%.
Overall, yeah, it was 53, or I think 56 overall. But in the second half, Austin FC just 40%, San Jose 60% in the second half. So do you have an issue, not just with the subs, but with the tactical approach of Austin FC in the second half?
Well, definitely. That was the thing is, like, we're kind of sitting down more too comfortable. It was too much of a comfort zone.
Yeah.
We felt more too comfortable, and the players too. When we talked to Fagundes, and he was pretty. And Pereira mentioned it too. I know Stuver. We couldn't ask Stuver, but he felt it. There's something that has happened most of the games. Not many of the games of this type. They have that timing is not there. Like, we let the other team score way too many goals on us. It's like, that's number one. Luckily, this game didn't happen. We scored first.
Yeah.
And they scored after.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to come back like usually we have to come back. No, we didn't have to come back. So kudos for that, that we need to see something positive from that.
Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Mm-hmm. And as Jorge and I were discussing, I'm not a fan of the substitutions in this match, in particular Rodney Redis. I just don't understand why he's still getting as many minutes as he's getting, to be honest. And we were talking about Washington Carrozzo. Where the heck is he? I mean, if he's not ready to play now, when will he be ready? This is a season-long loan. The season is it's coming to an end quickly here. So I don't understand why we're not seeing him. But overall, the tactical approach, I don't have too much of an issue with how Austin FC played that second half. And I will point to a couple numbers here, David. Again, I know you're a numbers guy. I got to prove it to you with the numbers.
I mean, it's not a big problem,
But, okay. Shots, Austin FC outshot San Jose 16-12. Shots on goal 6-5. And
that's the one that counts.
Crucially, the expected goals, Austin FC 2.56, San Jose just 0.85. I mean, Austin FC, you could argue if it weren't for a couple of fluky first half goals.
Pass accuracy, you never see that. You always see that Austin, the accuracy of the passes.
That's, I think, a result of the San Jose press, right?
Yeah, they're always good. Yeah, so that's what. But I got it.
But I would argue that the performance overall was fine.
No, it's not that bad.
I think it was.
I mean, but you have to say that Stuver was the figure. He was like Stuver did so many. And
okay. So you have some issues with Stuver in the first half and on those two goals.
Did I have an issue?
With the first goal, the second goal, could he have done better? Is that what you're about to go on that?
How do you know that?
Because you like to rile. You riled our viewers.
No. It's only one.
And
only one Stuver. The only one that Stuver, when the ball came out, was going to go. It became a corner, right? When it became a corner, that ball ended up being a goal. But, it was the cause and effect is kind of behind. But he ran for the ball. He tried to get it, but he didn't make it. That's the only issue I have. They're having that. And the goal came right after that. So we lost possession. That's what we lost. He lost possession. That's the only thing we lost for that goal. And everything else he did, awesome. I mean, he showed up the leadership. He was there when we need him. Like those like the big headers that the ball went down. It was really high speed. He does an amazing save.
Oh, he has a very
so many great saves. So,
excellent reaction.
I mean, the only thing I have to say about that was done when we lost possession. That's it. Other than that, he did a great job. Yeah. Nothing to say about him, man. He's my hero, man.
Yeah.
And okay, so
the game.
The other thing I want to get your thoughts on, David. Washington Carrozzo. Why are we not seeing him play?
That's a good question. I saw him walking by
Did you
in
ask
the locker room.
why he's not playing?
No, I was going to ask him, but he seemed very comfortable. Like he felt like he's like part of the team. I saw that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of. I mean, the guys they practice together. But probably it's that if the coach doesn't think he's ready.
So in Wolf you trust is what you're saying.
But I mean, maybe I mean. The thing is,
now that you're best buds,
nowadays,
you gotta agree with the guy.
But nowadays, there's a cushion. We have so many points ahead of everybody. Like, how many points ahead of? You cannot feel like some cushioning. Like, hey, yes, let's relax. It seems like that happened, right? This happened in the game.
But if we do have that cushion, why not start Carrozzo? I mean,
okay, let's do it.
Carrozzo,
let's do it.
The only minutes we've ever seen from him. Why was he ready then, but not now?
Yeah, we need to see.
Hey,
put him in the last 10 minutes.
See what he can do. I think he allegedly wasn't ready.
Like I mentioned earlier, like you mentioned earlier, if we bring Carrozzo and Redes, let's just say Redes, they're both speed guys on the left and on the right wing.
Redes. Everybody wants Reyes to score a goal.
Everybody wants Reyes to score a goal. And he probably puts a little bit of pressure on himself to do that. But how much better would the attack have been with two speed guys on a tired team? Mm-hmm. I mean, just to open up the spaces. Yeah. That would have been absolutely great. But for some reason, Carrozzo, I still don't understand why. Just bring him in. Just see what he can do against one of the cushion team, because we have a cushion in the lead. It's one of the last teams in the conference. Just throw him in there. But
so
I'm flabbergasted.
I 100% agree. That was going into this show. That was going to be my big get fired up moment, and it looks like we're all in agreement.
Yeah, we're all in
agreement.
Absolutely.
I
want to see what the kid can do.
Yeah,
he wants to probably see what he can do because I know he's getting acclimated.
Well, he wants to play for Ecuador in the World Cup.
Yeah, he needs to play for Ecuador. Yeah,
how's he going to play for Ecuador in the World Cup
if he's not playing?
Substitute minutes for Austin FC and
okay.
MLS.
All right.
I think he's the one. I mean, I think he's going to play next game, guys. Don't worry.
I sincerely hope so.
Gotta play the next
Sincerely
game.
hope so.
Especially if it's Sporting Kansas City,
Yeah.
the last team in the conference. Again, like I said last time we played Kansas City, I wanted Corozo to start to see what he could do. I want Corozo to start to see what he can do. So, please.
I agree. I want to see not just minutes. I want to see a start. Because I think Fagundes could use some rest. Driussi's probably going to be a little tired. He's going to be playing in the All-Star game tomorrow.
Yes.
So I think you kind of want to give some of those regulars a bit of a rest.
Right.
Corozo, come on. Let's see what he can do. Okay, so a couple more points here, then we'll get some predictions for KC and then talk a little EPL. I know you watched some EPL this weekend, David, because we watched it together. So
yes, we did.
One game. I know you saw at least one game. But in terms of Austin FC having, some throwaway points, I assume you guys are talking about the teams behind Austin FC and Austin FC staying above that playoff line.
Right.
I want to ask, Austin FC now 6 points back of LAFC, and LAFC have played one more match than Austin FC.
Yeah.
Supporter Shield, are those dreams? Can I go ahead and stop having those wonderful dreams? Is it over?
Them. Yeah.
Okay.
The only caveat on that is the game coming up against LAFC here at Q2. But if they beat them at Q2, they got a shot.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, that would pull them within 3 points.
The quality of play that they have displayed at Q2 makes that highly difficult.
Well, I want to ask. I don't know how much LAFC you guys have watched in recent weeks.
I have.
But that team is on a roll.
Yes.
That team is on quite a roll.
With DPs that aren't DPs, come on.
Yeah, when you can have Gareth Bale, and he doesn't count as a DP.
And I think Chiellini doesn't count as a DP.
I think you're correct, or
well, he's having fun.
4-1 winners at RSL, and Jerry just showed the table. RSL are having a good season. You go win 4-1.
They're not a bad team.
Away. Here's the thing. Yeah, RSL is in 5th place. Yeah. Here's the thing that they even without Bale, LAFC have a front three: Apoku, Chicho Arango, Carlos Vela. That is one of the best front threes in MLS.
Yeah.
And then you can bring Gareth Bale on in the 70th minute as a super sub. A little better than bringing on Rodney Redes.
A little bit.
Yes.
I
have to agree with you.
Phenomenal goal this weekend. Just incredible.
He looked like he was walking towards the goal.
Oh, yeah.
His speed is deceptive.
The people was got quiet. Like, it got really quiet.
Yeah, they knew.
Wow.
They knew.
You're watching something pretty
They knew what was going to happen.
Do you guys, are they the clear MLS Cup favorites right now, LAFC?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think LA, the Galaxy, that forwards, all those forwards. I mean, honestly, if
Jerry, can you show those standings again real quick?
Yeah,
I mean, I think the Galaxy, they have
Galaxy.
They're trying to invest.
Galaxy, they have to make the playoffs first, David.
Yeah,
you gotta go below the playoff line.
But they're getting more players. No, like I think
they got Ricky Puig.
Yes, that's an incredible.
I would have loved to have gotten our old pal Arush on that one.
Yes, indeed.
Hopefully we can get him.
Yeah, we got to invite him over.
That's what I'm saying.
He's our scout for Barcelona.
Barcelona correspondent.
Yeah, so
that was my point.
So you think the best days are still ahead for the Galaxy?
Yeah, with LA Galaxy, they're gonna qualify.
I think they will, but to me, they're
and the forward, the Stanovic. Oh my God,
he's
that
really
kid
good.
is just like so good. He only played 15 minutes every game and scored 10 goals.
And he has a tendency to destroy Austin FC.
Yeah,
he scores against.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Okay, a couple more Austin FC questions before we move on here. I want to talk about another substitute. I want to talk about Moussa Djite.
Yeah,
Moussa Djite. How big of a role do you think he is going to play between now and the end of the season? We'll start with you, Jorge. And in terms of our Austin FC's backup striker power rankings, who do you have, Gite or Danny Hosen? Who is Austin FC's true number 2?
Honestly, it depends on the. I think it's situational. Mm-hmm. If you need a spark, you're down or you're a goal or you're tied or whatever late in the game, you bring in Gite just for his speed to disrupt the defense.
And I think he is actually Austin FC's best aerial threat.
Yes.
Other than maybe Julio Cascante.
Yeah,
as far as getting on the end of crosses.
Gite could.
I think he's the only. I mean, Rudy.
He is.
Not really their game.
He's a fast player. Mm-hmm. So just bringing him in would disrupt some defenses and make people change their lineups a little bit maybe. But if Austin FC is ahead, even comfortably, then you bring in Hosen because he's more of a holding defender, striker.
And dare I say, Jorge, that I actually think he is Austin FC's best hold-up striker. I think he's better than Urruti.
Oh, yeah.
Urruti is the most clear goal scorer as far as this role.
Yeah.
And I think you got to have the goals. So you go with Rudy. But when Austin FC are really struggling to play through a high press, I almost don't mind seeing Danny Hosen come on because I think he does such a great job of dropping into those midfield areas and helping Austin FC get the ball up the pitch.
Right. So it's situational. Now, we got to throw this monkey wrench in there about how Rigoni is going to be factoring into those kinds of situations. Mm-hmm. Because now if you throw in Rigoni, he's probably going to replace Finley. Yes. So now we have to contend that same order. Who's the better option? Finley, Hosen, or Gite?
Okay, yeah, that's a really good point because I think the one thing, I think we saw it a whole bunch in this match against San Jose. Right. Finley is Austin FC's, I think, best vertical threat. I think he is the most direct runner
his passes
that Austin
are
FC
incredible.
have.
He has an excellent eye for a right winger.
Absolutely. Gets to the end line and sends in those with the Man City cutbacks where they get to that end line and just boom, hit that little cutback. He is so good at that. He's
a pretty good 9.
And he
really is. It's a pretty good 9.
That's an interesting point, David.
Yeah, because 9, that's what they do, They're hunting, They're hunting for the ball.
That's an interesting point.
And that's what he does.
Honestly, I do think, to your point, Finley's kind of filling a role that hasn't been filled yet because of his experience. But I could easily see Finley come in and, like I said, as a 9 or somewhere in the midfield.
He's a finisher.
I really like your thinking there. I think both that is spot on because I don't know anything about Rigoni, like what type of player he is. Do you guys know? I don't know. Maybe he offers a similar directness to Finley.
They interviewed Driussi earlier today in MLS.com, and he talked a little bit about Rigoni, and he is very high on signing him, mostly because he's his friend. So they, and his ex-team, and they played, I think, 3 years together in Zenit. Mm-hmm. So he knows his quality, and so he's very excited about him signing on and them bringing him in. So he's got a good eye for talent. So we'll see.
He may have a better eye for talent than Austin FC's scouting department. Perhaps. If this one works, we ought to have Driussi do the scouting too.
So as far as that's concerned, I think he'll contribute very, very well. But I hope it looks like it's probably not going to disrupt the cohesion that the team is showing right now. I think he's going to fit right in. But as far as the quality is concerned, he is 29. He had been practicing with Sao Paulo, so he's not out of shape or out of game shape. But God, if we end up doing the same thing to him that we're doing to Corozo. Don't
even. I can't take too much more Rodney Redis. I want to see the kid score, but I just can't take too much more of it.
Like I said,
just can't do it.
It's a situational thing.
You agree, David. You agree with me.
100%.
Yeah, because 100%.
We can't. For the love of football and Vivo, we can't take it anymore, Josh Wolf. We can't.
I mean, if you want to bring him situationally, the team's ahead 2-0 or whatever. Great, throw him in there.
Let him see if he can get that goal.
Build some confidence and maybe get that goal. But if it's
coming at the expense of your signings, these pretty big signings that everyone's excited about, I don't know if I can take much more of that. Anything that you would like to add to our discussion on Austin FC strikers, David?
I think we kind of covered that pretty well. Yeah. Definitely we need somebody to finish the ball, to finish. And I mean, Gite can easily. I mean, he needs more timing. I mean, more time on the field because when
he needs more minutes.
Do you guys think that he should maybe perhaps be having a bigger role? I think he's actually looked pretty good.
I would have actually preferred seeing him
right?
instead of Owen Wolf. I would have preferred that because just the speed.
Wolf really doesn't seem interested in like a two-striker system. Very rarely has he done that, and I would kind of, wouldn't mind seeing it a bit, here and there as a second look.
You like it. You like the attacking,
Yeah, I mean, you want to be that. Yeah.
It's like.
Defensively, Austin FC sit in a 4-4-2 shape. So you could easily move Drewsy out to one of the wings and you didn't have to.
And we play with Gallagher in the back. I mean, come on, Gallagher is definitely. So we have people that can play those roles too.
Right.
So we just need to try them there.
That would be interesting.
So you can try it. You can make more. You can always make some changes right now. Here and there.
To start off a game and a 4-4-2, that would be interesting. That would be interesting to see what kind of, because
especially against some teams, right? The teams that always give us problems.
Yeah,
right?
And the thing is, I think it would just come naturally because, like I said, Austin FC's defensive shape is 4-4-2, and then it fans out into that 4-3-3 when you get possession. Right. But you're already kind of somewhat drilled in playing with two up top when you don't have the ball, because usually Drewsy steps up to go alongside of Rudy to press the opposition, and so move Drewsy out to one of the wings and then stick Gite up with the Rudy. And see what happens.
That would be great because you'd have 4 playmakers.
We solved it.
Fantasy football.
We solved it, David.
Fantasy football.
Austin FC will not lose the rest of the season.
We figured it out. Hey, it's better than Rodney Rodas coming on again. Better than that.
I mean, let's.
Okay, let's get a few predictions here. As we've alluded to, Austin FC's next match, Sporting KC at Q2, Saturday, 8 p.m. Sporting Kansas City, they haven't been very good this season, but they did beat your LA Galaxy 4-2 this past weekend, David. So perhaps things are maybe turning around. They actually, I think they have a newly acquired striker, William Agata. He had 2 goals against the Galaxy.
When did you just play
and
against?
I think he looks pretty good from what I've seen. I watched him in the U.S. Open Cup, and I thought he looked promising.
Wait, this isn't Sporting Kansas City is a team? No, it's a different team. The one that lost with Sacramento.
That is the same Sporting Kansas City.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
the same.
I'm sorry.
Team.
Okay.
They lost to Sacramento Republic, but they did beat your beloved LA Galaxy. So it's potentially a dangerous.
They have double personality team.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
the Jekyll and Hyde.
Because I think it's not going to be a problem, really.
David, you know what it's time for?
I mean, I
know Jorge missed him last week. Well, football in Vivo, chicken of indecisive.
I say 3. We won. I mean, again, start from behind.
Yeah.
1-3.
You're predicting a 3-1 win for Austin FC. Okay, that is not. Any meteorological predictions in this one?
No earthquake this time. It's only tornadoes over there.
Well, the game is going to be in Austin.
It's going to be here, though.
No,
it's going to be here.
No, in this area.
Yeah.
I mean, we have tornadoes from here to.
We do. We've had it's affected our recording.
Actually, in this studio, right? This area.
Yes, this area.
Yes, close to this area, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Very morbid with your predictions. Jorge, lighten the mood.
2-0.
2-0.
And Corozo is going to start.
Corozo that's a big one.
Yes. I love it. That is definitely not a chicken prediction at all. You know what, guys? I'm going to hold the chicken.
You're going to hold the chicken.
Of indecisiveness.
1-1.
Okay.
1-1. You know me well, David. It's almost like we host the show together.
1-1.
Yeah, 1-1.
So that's going to be a wake-up call, like the biggest wake-up call. The other one just like a little nightmare.
Yeah, I think, I think Kansas City are not. I think they're a little better now than what their record would indicate.
So it's a trap game for you.
I think it's a bit of a trap game. Like I said, I didn't have too many problems with the overall performance of Austin FC against San Jose. I do want to make that clear, but I don't know. Just something tells me that this could be a bit of
they have definitely a good coach. I mean,
he's
stable. It's been there forever. And it's successful.
I mean, Austin FC, I think, have gotten
always put it on the playoffs. So it's
a lot of.
They still have guys like Russell and Susie.
Russell is a very good player. I think Austin FC throughout the season have gotten positive results in games where they haven't necessarily deserved those positive results.
True.
And I think
That's because of last year. Because last year everything went against us. No matter even if you went better, it's just the yin and yang. Let's just take it.
But I'm not going to take it. But I am saying, as we get into the second half of the season, I am concerned that maybe the luck will perhaps run out a bit. And I think that's the case. I think Austin played well enough to win this game against San Jose. We only get that 3-3 draw. And I think another draw may be for
and we also need to remember that Drews is going to be playing in the All-Star game.
That's a big reason why as well.
He probably won't start, I think. Which is why I kind of,
because Wolf did mention in the press conference, he does have a bit of an injury that he's carrying, which is why he was
this All-Stars picture there.
There he was looking very sharp there, Driussi.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a little concerned about him picking up minutes like this. Speaking of
Herrera, the guy only played like 3 games.
I have questions, David. I have major questions.
I don't know.
I have questions as well. What do you? Okay, I want to talk for a second here before we get to our EPL discussion. A little bit about the All-Star game. It's coming up Wednesday, tomorrow, 7:30, from Minnesota. Do you guys like this format? MLS All-Stars versus Liga MX All-Stars. Jorge, what do you think?
I'll see it. I'll watch it. But I'm not going to put any weight on it.
You don't think we can say definitively who is better, MLS or Liga MX versus who wins this?
Not really. I mean,
it's a friendly.
It's a friendly. I mean,
match.
The guys are joking around with each other as we speak. So, it's not going to be, it's. I would like to see MLS the All-Stars win, sure. But if they lose, draw, if nothing happens, I don't care. It doesn't really matter to me.
What do you think, David? What are your thoughts on
Well, I just want to say Happy Indigenous Day. Today is the day of indigenous population in America and Mexico together. And the same with the Saints football. I mean, that's
wonderful
the way to celebrate.
Right? Wonderful
to
occasion.
Celebrate natives, right? Like neighbors and friends, vecinos y amigos. We have to be friends, especially in the soccer field. And I think also the level that Mexican players bring, it's just up there.
I
will say very up there. Especially that not many of them are Mexican, but they play in the Mexican league.
A lot of the Americans don't play.
Likewise. So it's a worldwide, all natives from all South America, Europe, everywhere, all over the place. So it's always good.
It'll be fun.
I mean, how beautiful is the league and the Premier to seeing people from all over the world.
Right. Now, next year when we have the champions CONCACAF, or all 27, all 28 MLS teams, all 18 Mexican League teams play in a tournament 1 month long in the summer. That's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to
I cannot wait.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So you guys would prefer the MLS, Liga MX versus having like a traditional kind of like East versus West All-Star game.
Yeah, I prefer this one. But
I agree. Yeah. And I think this is... go ahead.
Because there have been other occasions we play, I don't know, Barcelona or whatever.
I was about to say.
And those aren't fair because Barcelona plays... They practice with each other week in, week out, and it's Barcelona. So not the same thing. Yes. But these are all-stars from different teams against all-stars from different teams. So it's a little more even, and I think it's a little more entertaining.
I agree. I think this is the most interesting format that you can have.
I hope they keep it.
I agree that I don't think we can put a whole lot of stock into, this league is better than that league because of the result of this. I think it's fun.
And it's fun for the fans. I mean, you're going to get a lot of... We know that there's a lot of Liga MX fans here of all different stripes.
For sure, when I have a lot of guacamole in that.
And so, that'd be great. I mean,
guacamole.
A lot of guacamole.
You got to invest guacamole by that day, man.
So, you're doing a lot of walking today, David. You should be making a lot of room to just go ahead and eat a bunch of guacamole.
That's going to be a fun party, I'm telling you.
Okay, so any final thoughts on MLS, Austin FC before we move on? Cross the pond, head over to England, and talk a little EPL. You guys ready?
Sure.
I can't wait for Ragoni to show up.
Okay.
100% agree.
That's going to define the season.
As long as he's not blocked by Rodney Redis.
Yes.
So, all right.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Velvet.
EPL. David. It's
Hey.
back. Get the Peacock app fired up.
Oh, Jesus.
EPL is back, baby.
Where is that?
Let's start with you, David. What stood out to you from this opening weekend? There's a few surprising results. We had Liverpool drawing 2-2 against Fulham. Manchester United losing at home to Brighton. Chelsea.
And when Ronaldo
Chelsea winning.
Ronaldo on the bench.
Ronaldo playing
Ronaldo
the
on the
Rodney
bench.
Redis super sub role. I mean, what stood out
With the
to
same
you,
result,
David?
by the way. He didn't do anything.
same level of productivity. Yes, correct.
Well, I think Haaland.
Yes, Erling Haaland
a double
is a frightening man.
And the first game, I think Agüero did it. Or no, who did it? I think Agüero was. He just tied Agüero as the best start for Manchester City
the first season.
player,
Yeah.
and the goals, the quality of both of the goals. I mean, the calm
Won
for the
penalty, then took a very good
and
penalty.
the penalty right on the line. I mean, he put it right on the corner, and then the other one was just a masterpiece. Masterpiece. He have enough. He could have done it with the right. But he had enough time to use his left.
Yeah.
Because it was on the right side. And he did it left. I
mean,
he just moved his body in the air, and then he hit it with the left.
Just
come on.
This guy's
nobody does that.
It. I mean, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he did all these wonderful things in Bundesliga," but it's not the same as in EPL.
All the goals that he missed.
He's
all the goals that he missed too.
The same guy.
Now, let me ask. I want to get your thoughts on this stuff because, as Jorge is alluding to here, there were some people. I don't know how vocal they are now, but there were some people that were, hey, you're coming to England, you're coming to the EPL. It just doesn't work that way like it does in Bundesliga. I mean, we've seen Timo Werner score a lot of goals in the Bundesliga and really struggle in the EPL. Now he's headed back to the Bundesliga. Jadon Sancho is another one that scored a ton of goals in the Bundesliga and is not really.
I mean, and you can say something about Lukaku.
No, we're not going to talk about him. But in terms of Erling Haaland, do you think?
Because we have to talk about Lukaku because this guy is bigger than Lukaku. And when you have a player at that size and that skill, nobody can stop it. No league, no Premier, no Italy, nobody. He's gonna play.
I just look at it this way.
Especially with Manchester City.
Yeah,
especially with Manchester City.
Manchester City won the league last year. We're pretty much the same guys.
Really.
And now they're going to have a striker that plays like Haaland does. Haaland's going to break the record of goals.
Yeah,
he will.
He does it everywhere he goes.
Because defenses now not only have to worry about the wingers on the sides and the midfielders who all can equally score the same types of goals.
Yeah.
Now they have to worry about isolating Haaland.
Yeah.
Who else do you?
And Gundogan is taking much of a bigger role. Bernardo is on the bench.
You have De Bruyne in there.
So you have. I mean, there's some changes from City, but
players, I just don't see any.
Let me, just for the sake of conversation.
Okay.
All right.
Let me play devil's advocate
again,
as I like to often do. This is tough because this is not necessarily my opinion, but I'm gonna go ahead and present an argument anyway.
Okay.
Last season, City, they won the league, yes, and they won it without a striker. Do you worry that sticking a striker, and not like a false 90 type of striker, just a true power horse, forward number 9? Definitely not. Do you worry that might unsettle Manchester City's rhythm? Doesn't look like it on the basis of this West Ham match. But do you worry that perhaps this will make things just kind of unsettle the flow for Pep's team?
I would say don't worry.
Don't worry at all.
Don't worry. Be happy. You don't have to worry about it. You know how Guardiola's going to play. If he doesn't have Haaland, he's going to play the same way. It's not going to change his mentality.
I think you're right. I think you still saw the other players doing a lot of the things that we're used to seeing them do. Yeah. You just happen to have one of the best strikers, if not the best striker on the planet.
Right.
On the top of that.
And in the bench, they have Alvarez. And Alvarez is ready to get in there, too. And talking about Alvarez, would you see...
any relation, David?
Yeah, he's my cousin. From the
we gotta have him on.
Yeah, the Alvarez. Alvarez they're all the same family. We're all big family. Some from Spain, some from Patagonia. They all got together. They're Guasos y Gauchos. That's what they call them, the Cowboys over there. No, but Alvarez is there. I mean, he's ready, and
he looked good in the Community Shield.
And you look great. And then you have Darwin. Now thinking about the other thing that happened this week is Liverpool, right? Darwin, oh my God. I can't believe.
Who scores more goals, Haaland or Darwin Nunez?
You see the goal they're both big guys with skillful feet. I mean, come on, they and
it's not fair.
Very
it's
impressed.
not fair, right?
It's not fair. It's not. Because Nunez came in as a substitute, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did.
And so imagine once they're working into the lineup as a starter.
Yeah,
but look at the goal that he did. The goal that was a hell. I was like, "You crazy?" I never saw it when in live, and then I have to see like 3 replays. It's like, what? That's what he did.
So
did he backheel it? He did backheel
it. He backheeled it.
Yeah.
He tried it again. He tried it twice.
Time. Yeah.
I don't know the other one. I missed barely.
You barely missed it.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
So it was not the first time.
Unfortunately, this video would be pulled down faster than you can say Futbol in Vivo if we actually tried to show that we're talking about here. But trust us.
Look it up on YouTube.
Google, YouTube. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's Mohamed Salah there.
Yeah, we need to talk about this one.
So I asked, and I want to get an answer from you guys. Haaland or Nunez, who scores more goals this season?
Haaland. Yeah, Haaland's going to.
Like I said earlier,
because also it's going to have it.
I think they're a better team, right?
But you never know now because depends. It depends. Because Salah is showing that he's always there. Salah. The question would be who scored more goals, Salah or Haaland? That's the question.
I still think Haaland. Jorge and I were talking before the show. When you see City, just how dominant they looked against West Ham, and you're Liverpool, and you're dropping points against Fulham, that already, I know it's just 1 week. That already feels like 2 big points. I mean, we've seen when these two teams go down to the wire, it's 1 or 2 points that decide it.
Yeah.
And to drop points against Fulham, that's not good.
At home.
No, they were on the road.
Oh, they were on the road? I thought they were. Oh, that's right.
But still, point stands, not good to be dropping points against Fulham. Do you guys agree this is not a good sign for Liverpool's title hopes, even though it is, very, very early?
I mean, yes and no, but then we have Alan Shearer.
It's the first game. 258 to go.
Oh my God!
He only needs 4 seasons probably to get to that.
That might be all it takes. So I guess this is my kind of roundabout way of, because we haven't had a chance really to talk much Premier League in recent weeks. Who wins this thing? What are our Premier League predictions? Let's start with you, Horace.
I just resigned myself to it.
Yeah, we have to accept our overlords. I suppose there's not much we can do. I agree with you, Jorge. I unfortunately do also think it is going to be Manchester City.
You don't need to ask me.
But we could talk about other things. We did talk about this earlier. Some of the surprises that are going to happen. Leeds United, they played excellent.
USAFC, David.
Yes.
I saw that, and Rodrigo.
Are you still on the Leeds bandwagon, David?
I am still it's still on it because the same players that pretty much played last year. Like most of them are the same,
except that they brought in
Bradford,
Brandon Anderson,
and Brendan Aronson. Yeah,
Aronson. But Aronson is just.
Bradford
he's gonna open
he's
some
back
eyes.
with the second assist,
Yes.
the second goal.
Mm-hmm.
Bamford.
Yeah, Patrick Bamford.
Yeah. So he's back, and that was this beautiful win, and
that's a good team, right? I mean, there were people that were saying because they came so close to being relegated last season that they might be potential relegation.
But you always thought that was not. It didn't make sense. It was not fair.
A lot of the injuries, and I think you really hit that Bielsa burnout.
Yeah, that was like 5-6 injuries.
Whenever
that was
the Bielsa
really
burnout hits, it hits hard.
Everybody gets burned out. I mean, there are no more players. Like I said. So you get 6 injuries.
And that's why I think a guy like Brendan Aronson, who's got a motor on him, he was nonstop all of the game. I would have loved to have seen Bielsa help him out in the team.
Hey, we have
that would have been
by the
coaching.
way,
a guy like Bielsa coaching a guy like Aronson. Oh
I think
I would have liked it.
I know there is somebody available right now looking for a team, and he's really good. He just left Olympique Marseille.
Who's that?
Just left a little. Oh, Jorge Sampaoli.
Jorge Sampaoli
It's
is
funny you
out
mentioned
of
that.
job.
Because
Yes,
speaking of
that's
Marseille,
right.
did you see who joined Marseille? A Futbol and Vivo favorite,
Who was it?
Alexis Sanchez.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I think
Wow.
it just happened. I saw
Today?
the headline. Yeah. Saw it.
Today.
Yep.
I've been out of. Wow,
The walk
that's
is-
news.
So you haven't got to
I mean,
see it.
that's
but yeah.
He's gonna wreak havoc.
We
on
could have
Man.
devoted the entire show to
I
this
mean,
news.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Hey.
We're gonna have to expand our horizons.
Hey,
now.
you know, I was watching the Marseille game. You know, I've been I mean, without Sampaoli, and they are doing great. I mean, the stadium there is
That's
something else.
one of the cathedrals.
Marseille
of the
is
game.
like,
we also have
wow,
another
the people
U.S.
there
men's
is
national
just-
team prospect, Conrad. Name escaped.
De La
me.
Fuente, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So he's in Olympique Marseille as well. So
Wow, yeah, that's a new team to
That's-
follow. Move over Real
Okay,
Betis.
Real
Big
Betis, not more.
Marseille.
Real Betis is still there.
follow those guys.
I think let's move up Leeds.
We're about to run out of time here. I just want to ask because I think the big talking point from this weekend was Manchester United and their 2-1 defeat to Brighton. Eric Ten Hag's debut. A lot of optimism upon his appointment, but he did walk off to booze in this match. So already, maybe not showing a whole lot of patience. The Old Trafford faithful. David
at Old Trafford.
at Old Trafford, a 2-1 defeat to Brighton.
so
How
bad.
if I were a Manchester United fan, and I'm so glad I'm not, but if I were a Manchester United fan, how concerned should I be about my team heading into this season?
I mean, you need to look at the history. You know, you need to look at the history.
about
of
all
the-
you have.
I
Manchester
think
United.
fans,
How
of,
many
fans
ti-
of Manchester
how many-
United
how many
have
times-
been worried since Sir Alex Ferguson left.
Yes.
But I have
It's
to
a
say,
constant
yeah.
preoccupation.
What happened is the history is that Brighton never ever won.
Ever. It's
So
the
this
first
is
one
the
ever.
first time ever.
So this is a bad sign. Right?
If that history tells you something, it got to tell you something. But also, you have to give all the kudos to Brighton too.
They are a great
they-
team.
they
Graham
did
Potter.
play well.
I mean,
The next top 6 team, the Big 6 team in the Premier League that wants to fire its coach, you could do worse than Graham Potter. That guy, his teams play really well.
they played really well, and that's you have to. You can say how bad can the other. I mean, but Manchester United did not play that bad. I mean, they played
Second
bad.
half, maybe in the
But
second
you
half.
have
First
to
half was rough.
You have
First
to
half
think
was
about
very rough.
the pressure the team is, and like all the pressure.
Do you
is
think
hard
Ten
for
Hag
them.
was
It's
the
very-
right appointment? Coming over from Ajax, obviously had a lot of success there. Do you think he's the right guy for this job here?
I mean, if he brings the same people he had in Ajax, yeah. But I mean, if
The
you
thing
bring,
is, to
you
me-
need to bring some of the same players. That's the way it works.
I think Ten
you
Hag.
cannot go somewhere without your players. I mean, you can. I mean, that's all right. That's the way I
They've
think.
been trying to get Frankie de Jong, but Barcelona, Frankie de Jong wants to get paid by Barcelona before he makes his move to Manchester United. I
Not
think
a bad
Ten
idea.
Hag, I agree. I think Ten Hag is a good appointment for this team.
Yeah, very
but I worry
successful.
there's so much politics at a club like Manchester United.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they need someone like an Antonio Conte, like a Carlo Ancelotti, just kind of just like a no BS
a
kind of
calming
figure.
influence.
Yeah,
type
that
of
Conte
guy.
would not be calming, but he would be a
Hey,
no,
Sampaoli
no
would-
BS
I think
kind of
Sampaoli
figure.
would be a good
You know,
option.
Sampaoli would be
someone to come in
Sampaoli-
and just not put up with
But
all the off the pitch stuff.
I mean,
Because I think he's already in trouble
Yeah,
by
he's already
letting
in
Ronaldo stick around. Because I
Yeah,
think that
he-
he needed to say,
Well,
I
he's
want
not
this
only
guy
stick
out of
around,
here.
but having it in the bench, that also.
Yeah,
like,
he's
it's
not
double.
gonna
been-
start him.
He's been a malcontent
So, yeah.
all off season.
And you say-
it reminds me of what happened to Austin FC last year
Mm-hmm.
with
David's favorite.
what's his name? I even forgot his
Pochettino?
name. Pochettino. He's a bad influence
Surprised
on
you
the
can
team.
still speak his
Yeah.
name.
And because Ronaldo has that level of respect from the other guys, they want to involve him more because they want to make him the focus. But Ronaldo doesn't have that in him anymore. He's 38 now.
He was a problem. He
Yeah,
scored a
well,
lot of goals last season,
seems-
but he
yeah.
was a
Well,
tactical headache as far as how to accommodate.
And so the fact
So
that
it's the problem with it. He doesn't get along with the.
that's the other problem. He doesn't get along with the guys. He didn't go
That's not good.
into off-season practice all that much. It's a bad start.
Yeah, I
It's a bad
100%
start.
agree, and that's why I'm saying a strong personality like an Antonio Conte that just comes in and says, "Get this guy out of here." And if you don't move him on, I'm just not going to play him. He's
Yeah.
not going to be on the bench.
Yeah.
We're going to just
Be a decisive guy. Yeah.
sit up in the stands. But all right, we are out of time here. Great time as always. Yes. Thank you to Jerry Lopez, just working magic behind the boards over there. Thank you to Club Deportes. Guys, this was fun. We're going to do this again next week. Thank you to our viewers, as always, of course.
Adieu, my friend.